Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Board Game Heaven Talks Accessories. And this time I'm taking a look at the e-Raptor insert organizer for Sword and Sorcery. Now this is actually for the retail edition, and I have the Kickstarter edition box. But the only difference is that this box is taller, so the dimensions basically are the same. So this should fit inside. So I'll open up the box, I'll show you how to put it together, and then I'll show you how everything will fit inside the box, and then I'll give you my final thoughts. So, the insert for Sword and Sorcery by e-Raptor. Rather big package, and it doesn't require glue, so like we are used to from e-Raptor. I'll open up this box. There we go. Comes with printed instructions. All right, I'll just put those on the side. And a big Ziploc bag with all the parts. All right, just put this to the side. Put the instructions here. All right, and this is open. There we go. So there is plenty of sheets here, and Swords and Sorcery is of course a rather big box, so there's a lot of organizer as well. So 8 sheets that it has. So let me just see, these are all dividers, so I'll just put that on the side for now. This is a big bottom piece, so that's this one. All right. And then we have one with a smaller tray for cards with dividers. So a card tray, I'll put that with the dividers. This one is that sheet. So that has, again, a tray with 2 spaces. That'll probably hold cards, I guess. Put that here. And we've got, let's see, so those we have seen. These are the instructions, how to put it together. And again, it's one of those instructions that has arrows instead of numbered parts. So yeah, we're gonna have to, you know, follow the lines and try to keep track of where everything goes. So, all right, let's just see. Let's start with the one I have in front of me. Oh, with the big one. Shall we do that? Let's start with the big one. So that's 1 out of 8. I have to figure out that that is not this one. This is the card tray that I saw earlier. Yes, okay. This isn't it either. Is there an instruction for this? Oh, I guess it's this. Yeah, it is. Flip that around. That is indeed this one. This is 1 out of 8. And this does have numbers. This actually has numbers on it. This is the first time I've seen this in any of those e-Raptor organizers. And that's pretty handy. And they put them in the space where the the walls come, the dividers, so you won't see those numbers. Not that I would mind. I mean, it's engraved nicely. And yeah, so they can actually engrave in these. So I wonder why they chose not to engrave, you know, the icons of where things go. That's one thing I'm missing in the e-Raptor inserts, which I have seen in other inserts, is that they usually engrave icons of, you know, what goes where. So, you know, which tokens to put where, etc. And now maybe on HDF that's less easy than on, say, plywood, I guess. And of course, you know, engraving things takes time, so that is production time, which probably would make them expensive, or more expensive, more costly. And these are pretty reasonably priced, so I guess that's a plus. Okay, so on with it. Let's take this one. And if you haven't seen me put together one of these before, I have a playlist of other accessories, and I do have more of these e-Raptor inserts, and maybe you're not familiar with them, but they have these clip tabs, so that gets pushed in a bit and it clips into the bottom, and it's a pretty cool system, so you don't need any glue. And there you go. So now to line them up properly, kind of like that with the numbers here, that makes it so much easier. And this is the first insert by e-Raptor that I own that has that. So maybe it's a more recent insert, I don't know. But yeah, I do like this solution. Okay, so let's see. Usually I had an insert last time that had the numbers just on the instructions, and those numbers kind of told you the order in which to put them in. So I'm going to assume that this is the same thing here. This is 1. You know, that they actually numbered them in a logical order. I don't think it matters that much as long as you put these 2 in last. Or the sides, because these have... Oh no, this is odd. Can I turn this around? Apparently I can, yeah. Would have to, because this goes in here. All right, so that's those. Then to put in these. And you just press them in and then they latch onto the bottom. So that's a clever system. So then the outer sides. And there it is. Tray all done. Just a couple of minutes. That's pretty easy. So, all right, let's put together some more of these. So let's see, what is this one? This one is 7 of 8 and 8 of 8. This is 8 of 8. It's this. And 7 of 8 is over here. So this has a couple of numbers as well, although they aren't numbered on the board, are they? Nope, they're not this time. So they're not very consistent with that. I kind of liked it on that one. Okay, so let's see. These 4 are these. This is all one sheet here. And, all right, and these numbers then, that's indicated on that paper. So that's all of these. And I'll leave this in. Yeah, I guess that's correct. Okay. So, and again, assuming that the numbers are also the order in which you put them in, I'll take this in front of me and I'll start with number 1, which is, according to the plan, this one. So this is 1. Oh, and they don't even tab. They just sit in here until they're held in place by those. And since these don't require glue, you can just put them in like this. But if you do want to, you know, have this sit a bit more solidly, perhaps you could use glue. But again, it's not necessary. I found that I could put these together without a single drop of glue and they're fine. They're you know, they hold together just nicely, and they really don't require glue. Although they can be a bit loose here and there. But yeah, I've had no problems. All right, so this is 8 and 9. But first we take 6 and 7 because they go in here and this goes over those. So yeah, it does indeed have a logical order in which to put these in. go. So this goes in here, and this is the looseness that I'm talking about. I mean, it won't go anywhere, but your trays might make a little bit of a clacking noise if you don't glue them. Not that that bothers me, but you know, you might prefer them glued. There you go. It's actually not that bad once everything is in place, and I still need to put in these as well. So this is 11. And again, I think, no, they're not similar. This one has more notches, so that goes on the top. So that should go here. And this one will go on the other side. This way around. And there you go. So yeah, this has these tabs on the outside and none here, so that's probably a good thing. If this rests on top of something else, then none of these will get in the way. So right, so we have that one, and I think that might be on top of this, which you can't see here, but there it is. So I'll just put together another one. This is great fun to put together. Okay. And that's pretty straightforward. This, of course, goes here. This goes here, and you can see, because it's asymmetrical, that you can only put these inside in one possible orientation. So you can't go wrong there. And again, with this, you know, this can only go in like that. So line everything up so that fits nicely in place, slots in, and then just click that in. There you go. There, and already done. So you can put these together rather quickly. So now you see this one doesn't have any numbers at all. So now I need to really follow the lines, and there is no order here as well. So I need to pay attention. And that's, you know, there's room for improvement there. That's what I meant by they're not very consistent with that. So I'd like to see that consistency with all of their punch boards. And it just sits into that as well. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. And then we get this and this. And I have to put those in last. And then these two go in first. Because again, they have the notches on the top. So I'll put this one here. Does that align well? And oh yeah, there's only one way to do this. So that's great. And then this will go here. All right. Pretty solid as well. Okay, on we go. So this is a bigger tray again, taller tray. Make sure you align everything well. And then press it in. All right. And then finally, the box with all the dividers. So these are the edges. Because they have those clips. All right, that's it. Okay, I'll put in these dividers, and then I'll put everything inside the box and show you what goes where and how it all fits inside the box. See you in a bit. All right, so I put everything together and managed to find spots for everything. So the base tray, which is the big one with the low walls, is of course for the tiles. So put the bigger tiles on the bottom first, and then these 4 square tiles on top of that, along with this token. So again, I've got the Kickstarter version with Darkness Falls included and the arcane portals included. I think there's something else even in here. So if you just have the core game, everything will fit in here quite easily and comfortably and will have its own spots. But you'll see that I have a lot more tokens and it still fits in here. So that's pretty cool. So this goes on the bottom, the straight ones go here. The square ones, the smaller ones, they go here, but I had one that was kind of over the edge, so I just put one here. There's plenty of room here. And of course the L-shaped ones all go here. So that fits nicely. So then on top of that, you could put, let's see, I think this one first. That one goes on the bottom. So this one has a big spot for the big enemy cards, and even sleeved, they will fit in here. I'm just going to put, if you're wondering which sleeves I used Boars for these by Paladin sleeves. I'm just going to store that. And for the smaller cards, I used Arthur Paladin sleeves. So I'll just put those in there. Then I took all of the hero cards. So these are all the character cards with the ones that came with Kickstarter exclusive. So if you've bought extra characters, you know, you'll probably won't have room. This holds all the cards from the core game and arcane portals. But I think you can fit in even more, especially if you don't sleeve. But if you do sleeve, this is what I did. I used the small parts for all the heroes. All of them, including the expansions. Here's the, what's his name again? Volcor Dragonkin. And then I had 2 bigger spots left, so I put the monster cards here, the enemy cards, you can see, and these are the treasure cards. But you could put anything in there, and that will go on the side here. It's a tight fit, but it does fit. At least I did get it in earlier. There we go. All right, so then on top of that, you can put these. This is simply a big tray for all the miniatures. So I put all the heroes here, and this is all of them, including the expansions, the orcs and the gremlins, what's in here? These guys, I think I threw those in. And I'll show you where I put the other ones later. But if you just have the base game, and like I said, again, that will all fit in here. So then I took this tray and I put in the dials here. And all of the doors go in here. These wall tokens go in here. And I put the standees from the expansions again in there as well. And this is a tray which has, again, some leftover dials that I had because of the expansions. The dice, these tokens, the money, and the health tokens, because you want to put that on the table. So that goes next to this one. And then you'll have a little bit of a recess there, which is perfect for these booklets. So this goes in here, this goes in there, and you can put your enemy cards and your hero dashboards on there, and that won't take up any extra space. So then normally you'd put on these bigger tiles, the biggest ones, and your books and everything, and you'd close the lid, and that would be your core game. Now, since I have the Kickstarter version, which is a taller box, I held on to one of the trays, this one. So if you do have the Kickstarter version, hold on to this. There's also this tray, and I just tossed that out. So then you'll have some extra space for all the excess minis that you have. So I put all the bosses here, the succubi, the werewolves, the undead here, and another boss there. So just tossed it all in. And then all the other extra monster cards that you will have will fit in here in this on the side. You can put all the bigger, thicker character boards plus one with the bear for the druid. Put them all in here, and I put the bag on top, which leaves me with a nice slot for a whole lot of cards that I still had left. And I didn't even have enough sleeves to sleeve them all. So I'm still gonna have to sleeve those. Well, I'll just push that in for now. And if I do sleeve them, I probably won't be able to fit it all in anymore. Although I do have some room left here. So I might, I mean, if I press this, I still have some room. So I might be able to fit it all in sleeved. But if I don't, I'll find a solution for that. I mean, that's not too big of a deal. I could slot some in here if I needed to. But hey, that's okay. So then I'll put these on top of here, like that. And then the rule books on top of that. Storybook, as you can see, Darkness Falls, Immortal Souls. And with these, so you can see what I have, basically, all of these extra things. And that will fit flush. So even if you do have the Kickstarter edition, this insert is a pretty good way to store and organize your game. And then you just push that down. It's a big box. And, well, it never was completely flush from the start, but it will fit all the way down onto the bottom. So that's that. And so that was the organizer by e-Raptor for Swords and Sorcery, retail edition, but even if you have the Kickstarter edition, like I showed you, everything will fit inside. It's got trays for the miniatures, it's got a tray for all the doors, the stands, and the dials. It's got a removable tray for all the tokens that you will be using during the game. Even the bigger tray in here can be taken out, and that will have all of these tokens that you will use during the game. So you just put that on the table, you're ready to play. The cards fit in here, and even if you sleeve them, they'll fit in here. They'll be just a bit taller, the stack, but it will still fit inside. And if you put these on top, that won't go anywhere. And you can put all of your tiles in the bottom tray and have them neatly arranged and organized. And thanks to the card holder here, you'll also be able to organize all of your smaller cards and keep those ready to play as well. So basically that's it. I'd like to thank e-Raptor for sending me this organizer for reviewing purposes. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. And if you hit the bell icon, you'll also get a notification whenever I upload a new video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Board Game Heaven.